I love the name though, man.
Young Smirks.
Yeah, the Young Smirks, bro. It's brilliant. When I saw it, I was like, I get ya.
إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Young Smirks podcast. We're here with my very good brother. He's not my twin brother.
No.
My brother in Islam. Faruq. Assalamu alaikum.
Big shout out to
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
So what was you speaking about? Because we just
I was just about to say, because of the name of the podcast, the Young Smirks, obviously it's a play on the Young Turks.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows the Young Turks,
exactly,
who's followed them over the years, how they've changed.
You know, you're the first one to get it.
Really?
No one understood what it was. Because obviously you got the Young Turks podcast, film, news channel.
As they developed and they got funding.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money as well.
A lot of money, yeah. And they do some good stuff.
They do.
It's not all good, but...
No, that's the thing, yeah.
But originally, do you know who the Young Turks were?
No.
Well, it goes back, there was a group of secular Turks.
Okay. Yes, excuse me. Carry on.
Yeah, they tried to arguably destroy Islam.
Yeah.
So Young Smirks is, we're trying to revive Islam.
Yeah, sahih.
And we have the last laugh, inshallah.
Allah Akbar. I'm like, that's even, mashallah, your tafsir on that, bruv. The shard that you gave. Bruv, I'm glad to be part of it, man. Let's have that last laugh then, inshallah.
We have the last laugh, inshallah. We'll bring it, inshallah. We hope these podcasts have some benefit.
They do,
hopefully,
man. For sure.
As I said, it's, I don't...
This has become the platform, bro. I remember when I was a kid, if you wanted to learn about something, it was either go down the library and pick up a book, or you stick the telly on and hope something comes on. I remember there would be the documentaries, so I'd be interested in animals, I'd be watching it. Then if I wanted to learn more about that particular fish, where'd I have to go? Library, man. No Wikipedia, no online, no YouTube video explaining how to do it. Bruv, my lawnmower stopped working. Jumped on YouTube. About 2 minutes later, my lawnmower's working.
I learned how to ride a motorbike on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
I had my phone clipped to the bike.
Yeah, bro, brilliant.
SubhanAllah.
I'm glad you did. Yeah. The thing is, life is different today. And we the Muslims, we're still dragging our feet.
It's a motorbike, not a bicycle.
No, I believe, Can you imagine you getting about one pedal there, watching the video, and you're going, oh, I'm doing it.
I mean, I originally wanted to do, years ago, like, when I became a Muslim, one of the big influences for me was the Deen show. Brother Eddie, I used to watch that.
That was everywhere back then.
Even before I was a Muslim.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do something like it, I like the format. Just interviewing everyday people. Everyone's got a story to say. You don't have to interview sheikhs, Everyday people got a story to say, to tell. And that was my idea. And I went to visit Eddie and I was going to do Deen Show UK, but then I got busy and I never did the talk show. All of a sudden, podcast came out. What's that? And it's basically a talk show, isn't it?
Yeah.
A bit more relaxed. So.
I like the format as well of a podcast because you get to be a bit more relaxed with everything because it ain't going out to
just
a podcast.
Conversation,
so there's less filter involved, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you can just talk over each other, argue, fight, do what Just get on with it.
Let's say for argument's sake, we just said a few things about the Young Turks, if we was going to broadcast, it has to be fully filtered. Can you say this? Can you say that? Why? Because it could be brought against you in a court of law. Now, alhamdulillah, with the podcast, bruv, I can say this person's got smelly feet or whatever. Don't matter, Just an example, but you can say, there's more freedom, and you can speak your mind. No, it's not. It's probably me actually. I've been on tour for a few days now, But they are clean socks, brothers and sisters. All right, alhamdulillah.
Bro, I wanted to, subhanallah. I'm really happy I've seen you today, subhanAllah.
Same.
When I heard you, I was like, alhamdulillah. You can ask the brothers down there, I was really happy.
Alhamdulillah.
And you've done a lot of TV work, you've done even behind and in front of the camera. So you're familiar with media and...
do you know what, I'm not, by the way, a lot of people think, so where did you study? I've had that question, And I don't know if they know that I haven't studied anything or they genuinely want to know, But I fell into it by accident, this whole thing.
So you've not been to this special university, as you say,
Nothing.
You know what I'm talking about?
So
I was interviewing one sheikh, and he said, I spent some time in the special university. Speaking about prison.
No. No special university whatsoever, alhamdulillah. The University of Yusuf.
But you've just started your journey.
Yes, I have. This is the first time I'm going into official education. I'll be honest, I wasn't a dumb kid in school. I just was a lazy person.
Me too.
And there was certain things.
And the comedian of the class.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was, man. Spud me on that one. Yeah,
I mean,
we could do it.
So
there's no
he's
cultural.
a typical ginger, basically.
Yeah, it's that. I was the joker. I wasn't stupid, but I was a joker because with the looks that I had, you know, you had to be something, and I could be the class clown, and I made people laugh, so I was good at that, you know, and I kept everyone.
I mean, down there you like a good laugh, don't you?
Yeah, you
know,
do.
You Cockney laugh.
Yeah. Have a good old chat.
You was mentioning the Cockney humour. I thought that was an oxymoron.
Oh, really?
I thought British humour is in the north.
You know what? You could be right there, because you've got the most talent comes. The further north you get, the better it gets. I will say this. As a Scotsman, as an official Scotsman with Scottish
with a Cockney accent,
with a Cockney accent, I will say that Scottish comedians tend to do better than a lot. Yeah, some of the world's most famous comedians have come from Scotland.
So tell us about you've just started your journey on seeking knowledge, not starting, but officially, if you like.
Yeah, you're right.
You've now moved to
a proper higher education.
And you're living in
Medina,
subhanallah. How is it, bro?
It's difficult, bro. As an older gentleman going to study, I remember when I first entered into the deen, that Faruq right there, that new Muslim, you know, 1 year in the deen, woo, he would have excelled in this environment, As a grown-up, slightly aged, getting thicker around the waist. Family.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Older family as well, like my boy's 8, my daughter's 14, turning 14 in a few weeks, literally. My wife's, I'm not going to mention her age because she beats me up, but she's, you know, much older. You know, I'm much older than we were when I first applied. It's kind of like, you know, it's much harder. And to memorise as well. Yeah. It's much, it doesn't stick.
I applied for Medina when I was single, young, you know. But then by the time you get replies and it's like, well, I'm married, kids, you know, and it's like, it's not easy, bro. It's not easy.
Not easy. And when the opportunity came, and like you know, because you had some difficulties when you got accepted, right?
Yeah, I got accepted, and then for some reason it just all got cancelled. You know, I can speculate on what them reasons were. But you know, I was accepted, but it didn't end up going. Not because of my own choice. I would have loved to have gone and tried, you know, at least, but it wasn't meant to be. Kind of Allah. Alhamdulillah, there's wisdom in everything.
You're right.
You know, and there's a wisdom in why Allah's giving you now and not before. That's it.
No, you're 100% right. Perhaps the younger
you've not just been sat doing nothing since being a Muslim. You've done so much dawah the past, you know, since you've been a Muslim.
Alhamdulillah.
A lot of TV work, and Allah knew you was needed at that particular time in a particular.
Did you ever see us in the early days when we first started? Me and Jawad.
Jawad, yeah.
Yeah, you saw. Do you know what? SubhanAllah, and it feels
How
so
is Jawad?
long. He's good. I don't see him that much though, because he ended up going up north and he worked with another channel.
Okay, mashallah.
And so he ended up following his own path. But like you said, I went more into behind the scenes. And as well, I did a lot of stuff outside of Britain. A lot of production for North Africa. Iqra channel. You know Iqra channel. Not Iqra UK.
Saudi based.
Yeah, Iqra International they called it.
Mashallah.
And I did a lot of work with Malaysian channels as well. So alhamdulillah, I did other stuff external to British Dawa. But one of the good things was seeing just many different Muslims and watching Dawa, or should I say media Dawa, change over the years. When we started, bruv, there was no takbir. There was takbir, but there was no takbir on TV. You know, like when they were doing the fundraising before, it was all about weeping and making you feel bad and give money. That was all it was. So when me and Jawad turned up on the scene, we sat there, cockney gazers, put our feet up on an ad cup of tea on the screen. And he would, like, you know, there's certain faux pas you can't do on telly, That's get up and walk around, We were like, no, mate, we're getting up and walking around. And he would literally go up and grab the camera, talk through the camera.
So you break all the rules.
Break every rule we could, And it was kind of like expected then, you know, this is what we did. So we brought telly into the living room, or should I say we brought you into our living room. It was kind of like you were chilling with the brothers, And that's what a lot of people said. And because of that, we kind of, you know, changed a bit of how media was happening at the time. So we started watching, you know, the rival channel, because we was Ramadan TV, there was Islam channel.
Okay.
And then we started watching them, and they started doing the takbir and trying to follow that method. And it's kind of like, that's cool, man. Change setting.
And then different channels picked up different things.
Everyone started doing appeals. Because when we first did appeals, no one was doing appeals. It was like very rare, a couple of channels. Then that whole sector woke up. They were like, there's money to be made here. One charity, and I won't mention who it was, went from a small charity to a big charity in 1 month. They raised, in that month, I think it was like 800,000 in 1 month. They raised a phenomenal amount of money. And everyone saw that explosion for that charity and they said, we need to be on TV. So then everybody wanted to fundraise on TV. And then media went that way. And now this, you could say to this day even, media is now governed, or Ramadan specifically, is now governed by what charities are putting their money where. And it's a bit sad really, because I think we need to be external from that. And we have to have other ways of raising money. What do you think? I mean, it's sad.
Like you say, there's pros and cons to it. Really, there's good in it, but you know, it can be too much about the money, and it's not easy.
I remember, like, let's say you want to do a fundraiser before. It was like, okay, we've got this project. See what you can do, and it was very sincere to Allah. It was like, whatever Allah raises, alhamdulillah, we'll be happy. And we'd do 30, 40k, just sitting there, 50k, just sitting, having a chat with the brothers, like me and you. Imagine me and you were sitting here talking a bit about Deen, you know, our Iman, and people call in and say, and everyone's donating. Now it's like in the earpiece is constantly going, right, okay, we need this target, please push for this. We need this particular package to go out. We need 2 of these. Why do you need 2 of them? Why? Oh, well, because we want. No, you want to. That's exactly right. You don't need anything.
But you've got what you need.
So just relax, and Allah will give. But the whole,
you know, the whole charity sector is a totally. I've actually refrained from saying anything publicly.
You must have some experience, right?
You know, I mean, I've done a bit of fundraising online, but it's always been for projects that I'm personally in charge of. I've been asked to fundraise for different charities, and I've always avoided it. You know, it's you know,
murky, bro.
Yeah, it is murky, and it's not easy. You know, when you've made your name, if you like, through Dawa or Islamic preaching or whatever it may be. I don't know. Sometimes I feel there's big conflicts of interest as well, and
100%.
You have to be careful.
100%. No doubt about that. Specifically, there was, I won't mention the charity, but I remember they said, look, can you do it? I didn't have no idea about this charity, no chance to read about it. There's some charities I work with a lot. You'll see me a lot with them because they're like brothers. They are doing things brothers do. They're not taking any money out of it. There's no money being spent. And some of the bigger boys who approach us, it's like, no, I ain't working for you. Sorry, I'm not going to do anything. There's sometimes they get upset with you. Sometimes this particular charity, I didn't know who they were. They were new. I was told they're good brothers, this, that, and the other. So cool. I went and worked with them, and after we did the work together, they disappeared, and I was trying to find out what happened to the money, back up the project. Not for posting anything. I don't post anything on social media. I'm a dead
follow it up.
It was just my own thing. Like, okay, we raised some money. What happened? Bruv, disappeared. I got crickets, mate. You know, nothing. Tumbleweed went by, bruv. I didn't hear nothing, and that really hurt me, man. After that, I became really shadid. Because this was a good few years ago, and I was like, okay, now from now on, if I'm working, I want to see what you've been doing, because this is money raised with the name of Allah.
Exactly.
This is
We're going to be accountable for all of this.
Sahih.
So, you know, I know you've been asked a million times, and I don't want all the details, but for those of you, you know, I might have a slightly different platform to other podcasts.
Yes, Sahih.
And you know, I do have a lot of non-Muslims following me as well.
MashaAllah.
And a lot of Muslims who are maybe new to the deen. I just wanted to know, you know what I'm going to ask?
Yeah, go for it.
No, I'm not going to ask, you know what I'm going to ask. How did you find Islam? And I'm sorry.
No, I don't mind
I get asked it just as many, but there is a benefit in it, and you know that.
I know there is. In fact, before we go into the story, I was in a masjid, taking my shoes off. And then this really tall white guy comes up to me. But I found out afterwards he's half Pakistani, So, but he was not practicing Muslim at all. And he stopped then. He's like, oh, I can't believe I met you. And I was like, what? Like, this was a good few years ago, like when it was early in the Dawa. And I did my story then. And subhanAllah, he said, I became practicing and learnt about Islam because of you. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And this was, I always see that particular moment as a gift. As to when you get asked these things, always say, even if you've done it 100 times. I witnessed one person say, I've done this story so many times. You want to know, look it up. That's literally what he said. But when this thing happened with me, I realised that, you should always share. Because that dude today, I don't know what he's doing, but at that time, because of our sort of situation, telling our stories, people like him became practicing, So you don't know who it affects.
So you never know what affects someone.
Wallahi.
Yeah.
Wallahi.
I never belittle the revert story, man.
Mashallah.
I get asked it every week. Someone's asking me, and it's
twice on a trip. Yeah. This will be the second time today, by the way.
Yeah, and I think I even mentioned it a bit in my talk today. But who cares? That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's what we have.
People get inspired as well, man.
Yeah.
So
how long have you been a Muslim? How many?
Just a little bit over you. I think 12 years.
Mashallah.
Knocking on 12 years door in April. Will be 12 years. Alhamdulillah.
Mashallah.
So yeah, it's beautiful, man. Time flies though, bro. I still kind of feel like I'm still new to this.
I know.
But it does fly. And I remember in the build-up to Islam, to my becoming a Muslim, I used to sell cars. It was proper. Oh, geezer, you want to buy a car?
Right.
Yeah. I used to work for a company. We used to sell BMW, Mercedes.
A bit like Del Boy.
Yeah, I was a bit Del Boyish,
you got the accent.
I was a really good salesman.
Yeah.
I trained how to be a salesman, like proper course, and it was, I did several courses actually. I learned how to sell and how to, get people interested in things. So I was really good at all facets. When it was a young boy would come there, I'd match the young boy. I'd be like, mate, that's a nice motor. I'd be like that. I wouldn't even talk. I never ever spoke about selling a car. I always talked about their car they turned up in. Because they always feel he wants to sell me a car. When you start talking about their car, if they're interested, then. So I was really good at sales. So at that time I was selling cars, and I really got interested in time travel. Sounds a bit weird, but I wanted to know if it's true. Can it not from like a sci-fi, but more from an actual scientific perspective? Can we really do it? And if so, man, I'm going to go find them lottery numbers, man. Change my life, So you can tell I weren't in for the hard work, man. I wanted to make that money and have a good life. So I thought, if I can time travel, let's do it. But so I really looked into different theories people were pushing for it. Some of Einstein's theory, I think it's special relativity, where he actually talks about it being a possibility.
Yes.
On paper.
Have you seen just to interrupt you, have you seen the YouTube video with, what's he called, Cox? What's he called?
Brian Cox,
Brian
when
Cox.
He talks about,
it was amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
You know what I was thinking about Isa alayhi salam?
No.
When he talked, because it's actually, according to this, it's possible.
Yeah, sir.
To time travel.
Of
course,
theory,
if you're going fast enough.
Yeah, no.
And they've shown,
no.
Of course, you have to go really fast to really,
Do you want to hear something strange?
Go on.
Angels? Do we ever see them?
You can. It's possible, yeah.
It's not something...
not in their own form.
We don't see them when they're travelling around the earth, Like right now we're talking about Allah, perhaps there's one here,
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, if something lives in the plane of light speed travel, like we have... Let's refer to it as normal speed travel, So we walk around in this realm. If we were to travel at light speed, we would travel so fast that no one would be able to ever see us, right? Because eyes need light to see. And if you're moving as quicker than light, you'll never be able to see it. It would literally wouldn't exist in this realm, but they're in a different realm of existence to us. So I because they're made from light. When they move, they're actually light moving, So I always wondered that perhaps because they're always around and we can't see them, they live on a different level to us. To
like a different it's like a different
plane of existence. Like for us, we're almost like dead still to them. It's as if like we're passing a flat ground. The tiny little piece of matter on the ground, it's nothing to us. It's so insignificant. It doesn't mean anything to us. And just like that, that's how this plane of existence is for them. They can enter it and come out of it, but it's so insignificant because they're moving it and traveling. But this is just something.
Just again, you're making me think of the ants. What spoke to Sulaiman? And there, you wouldn't even think they would even thought of.
Naam, Sahih.
But they had an importance. Sulaiman spoke to Subhanallah.
Allah, that's a good
so you're
point.
getting the kind of
So coming back to it, I was looking into that, and Subhanallah. Now you mentioned about Isa and him travelling up through the heavens, and now he's existing in that realm, completely different realm to this. Age becomes insignificant because you're not bound by time.
Yeah.
It's you're
and
outside.
you come back the same age.
Sahih. Because there's no time.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. SubhanAllah. So I was
the point is that it's scientifically possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can they replicate it?
Yeah, that's different now.
That's a different thing. Yeah. But in their understanding of physics, and it's weak.
How did you start looking into time travel?
I don't really. That's
I've
a good
never heard
point.
this before.
Yeah,
I've heard someone find Islam through
time travel. Yeah, you know what? It was just stuff I was interested in.
Yeah.
I was a bit of a sci-fi lover. And I liked the idea of coming with something new, like teleportation and things like that. I've always been interested in that. And I thought, why not? Why not? It's like more like we could do it. And imagine how cool that would be. Like, do you need something? Yeah, if you put it through the little portal and it ends up somewhere else, And you need light speed. If you find out light speed travel, you'll be able to do all of that. There's no such thing. And Quran even mentions about the jinn, the ifrit, should I say, when Sulaiman alayhi salam was sitting on the throne. He said, who will bring me the throne of Sheba? One of them said, I will bring it before you raise up from your place. And some scholars said it means between Dhuhr and Asr he used to sit. So they said that few hour period that he's sitting, he would have his majlis, he would bring it in that time, which is really quick from Yemen to Syria, yeah? And then one of them said, who had knowledge of this scripture, what scripture Allah knows, but he had knowledge of this scripture, I'll bring it to you in the blink of an eye. Boom, it was there. And then Suleiman said, alter it to trick her, yeah? But the point is, there was instantaneous, from one place to another. It wasn't refabrication, it wasn't a replication of that. It was the same object brought from one place to another in an instant. So for sure we know the Quran agrees with teleportation, for sure. I'm using that word, teleportation, but
or speed or whatever.
However the method was that scripture had, and this being was able to use. There's been arguments who that was. Was it a jinn or was it a person? Because the ifrit was the one who said, I will bring it before you sit up. Then one who, didn't say which one, but one who has knowledge of scripture. So was it a person? Was it a jinn? Allahu Akbar. But they had some knowledge that instantly brought this throne made of gold to them. Yeah. So, but that's a tangent. I found this out later after I became Muslim. Yeah. So I was looking into it, and at that time I came to the conclusion that what we can physically do is impossible. We couldn't do it. There was even one theory I read called shadow theory. I don't know if you've heard of it. No. But for a shadow to be cast, it's always ahead of the light that it's being cast over. It's silly sounding, but it's true. If you cast light over my hand, the shadow is always going to be there. So we're saying a shadow travels faster than the speed of light. So if we could somehow utilize shadows as... it's hilarious, but there's so many theories that people have sat and written. So I read quite a few of them, and I was like, no, you can't do it. But there was an anomaly, people who predicted the future. I was like, so how did they know that was going to happen before it happened? There must be some sort of circulatory system to this thing. That somehow we're just living in a loop. And I was coming at all sorts of possibilities of why this is like that. And then one guy, Muslim brother, he gave me the CD. I won't mention the name of the sheikh, but he talks about the hereafter. Beautiful, beautiful lecture series.
I wonder if it's the same one I
Probably is. Yeah. But for the sake of your podcast, I'm not going to mention
no, I don't think it is, no. No, I know what you mean,
but that sheikh, he did Al-Akhirah, the hereafter. Yeah. And he goes through all this, and it's an amazing lecture series, man. I bless and have mercy on the sheikh. But it has amazing lecture series, and in it has all the points of the Day of Judgment. He said, listen to that CD, and it's got all these points in it. So I only listened to the signs of the Day of Judgment. And this was after I'd read books on Nostradamus. I read some biblical prophecies. They were the funniest, man. Have you ever read them? You must have. Mashallah. You know the Bible, man.
Yeah, but when we read them, it's kind of a bit of a laugh.
It is a bit of a laugh, man. I read. This is the first time I read Revelations. Bro, I read it. I was like, what? And then there was because I didn't even have internet really. I used to get it from work. I'd print everything off at work. And they had this, there was one dude who was saying about the beast. The beast is America. And there was a lady, and the lady is this, and so is that. And then there's the next guy going, and he's all wrong because it actually means this. I thought everything has an alternative meaning. Yeah.
And it's impossible to know the meaning if you don't know the author.
Yeah,
it's even more.
How can you know what he was going on about? You know? And if something's poetic like that without any clarity or explanation, you'll never really understand it. You know, I could say the big black and I'm talking about the table, yeah, but you can use words to describe it, yeah, but if you know I'm sitting looking at a table, it's how he's talking about the table, yeah, but you have literally nothing to go on. It's like, the beast was there and this happened, and what are you on about, bro? Yeah. So I read it and I found it quite funny. And Nostradamus, have you read some of his stuff?
No.
It's
incidentally, Ayura have just released a book. Abu Zakaria, he just released a book about forbidden prophecies.
Okay.
I've not read the book, but he basically goes into some of these false prophecies and things, you know, and eventually presents. It's supposed to be really good.
I like Abu Zakaria, mashallah. He does a lot of khair.
Yeah, mashallah.
Yeah, I definitely would get that book, for sure.
I mean, I'm looking forward to reading it. Sabor just did a lecture on it. It was quite interesting.
I haven't seen that either.
You'll love this stuff if you. If this is your kind of.
This is my. It's my left boot, mate. You know what I mean? My old football boot. I'm going to put it back on.
Well, how did you link that to Islam?
I'll get to the crux of it. So after I was into this and the brother gave me the prophecies, the one difference out of all of them, I said, this man, Prophet Muhammad, he's saying this came from God, and I believed in God. I was like, it must be some sort of creator. I used to pray to him when I was little, when Mum told me off, you know. Give me a clip round the ear. More than a clip round the ear, but proverbial clip round the ear, and I'd go to my bed, I'd be like, oh God, if I die, please let me see what happens afterwards. I don't want to be here no more. I want to, you know, just a kid. I weren't like suicidal, not like today, they actually go and do it, I was just like upset, Mum shouting at me, you know. I was like, God, I want to know what happens when I die, please. And subhanAllah, years later, Allah shows me, you know, through the Prophet Muhammad. But so I looked at his prophecies, and his were different, man. They were amazing, subhanAllah. He was very clear, and he said, this ain't from me, this is from one above, you know. I was like, wow, he's not being arrogant about it, you know, saying, look what I found out, you know. There was a guy who has dreams, he's like, I had this dream, it happened, and he's like, I'm now a prophet, But the prophet said he never was like that. So I really was intrigued, and they were so accurate. Like the race of the people was involved, and it's very specific. It weren't educated guessing, you could tell it was a specific information. So then the brother, he gave me this book, Brief Illustrated Guide to Islam, you must have heard of it. And that book was like a punch in the face, man. Because one of the very early parts, it talks about embryology, which is a known science, it's biological, you know. So we're not talking about a theory of science, we're talking about something which is quite clear, you know, how we're created in the womb. And the stages of which we're created in the womb matches what, what Allah says, modern science says. So Allah said it first, and we believe in the Quran before we believe in science. But do you want to make that clear, brothers and sisters? So after when I saw that, I was like, three things: either it's not true that this Quran has been updated, or that the Prophet ﷺ did time travel and he brought this information back and he shared it with the people, or it's from God. And I'd already gone through one of them, which was that there's no time travel. So it could either be that the Quran's been updated, or that it's really truly from God. When I asked the question, what about this Quran? It's been updated or anything? He said, no, it's the same Quran as we heard since 1400 years. So I was like, okay, I believe in it. But no one told me about Shahada, man. So I believed in Islam.
I was believing. I fasted Ramadan with no Shahada.
Really?
Of course, inshallah, it's accepted.
I mean.
Well, subhanAllah, no one told me, bro.
Yeah, no one told me as well. So I was like this Muslim inside, but I didn't know until this brother comes and he's like, you got to take Shahada. I was like, what's that?
That's what I said.
And he's like, you got
to Shahada.
And he goes, I said, because you ain't going to go to Jannah. I was like, why not? And I believe. He goes, because you ain't done Shahada. I said, what's that? He goes, you say Ashhadu la ilaha illallah. I was like, all right then, let's do it.
Same way.
So I did it, and I was like, and then they started hugging me, bro. And I was like, what are you doing? Hugging me, man. I was like, it was a bit weird at that time, because I was, still a bit cocky.
Still a geezer,
Yeah, still a bit of a geezer. Hey, easy, bruv, man. What are you going for, mate? Shake the hand.
Calm down.
Yeah, it was like that, And then these guys I'd been hanging around with, they heard, he's Muslim now. So they all started coming and going, I was like, look, boys, you know what I mean? Normal geezer, what are you talking about? Like, just relax, But I stopped a lot of the bad habits I had.
Mashallah.
Pretty much straight away. I had a lot of bad habits, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped me straight away. And I remember I went to go pray, and this really solidified my Islam. He took me to the masjid, one of the brothers, and I was standing there. And when I did salah, I had the khushu', which I haven't achieved since, except for one other time. And it was as if I was in front of the Lord Most High. It was so weird. And I didn't even try. I just went and stood there and I copied what they were doing. But I felt that the Lord was there. And then after the salah, I said to the brother, I went, did you feel that? He went, what? I was like, bro, it was like I was standing on the day of judgment in front of the Lord.
Subhanallah.
He goes, what are you talking about? Yeah, he was a bit weirded out by me. I was like, oh, bro, that was something else I've never experienced. And after that moment, I was like, I want that again. And then slowly, it slowly got less and less and less. Until then you're chasing it, trying to really get it back, trying your best. Yeah. And every now and then you get close. And there was one time, I remember, really late at night, and I had the similar feeling. I was like, oh, wow, that's what I've been looking for, It's like it was Allah's ni'mah, but I've met reverts who go, I used to be Muslim. Have you met them? I used to be Muslim,
not really
Muslim. And there was this one guy, he said, I was Muslim for 2 years, now he's Sumerian, he follows the Sumerian tablets, These sort of, I'm into all that stuff, And he goes, I'm into that now. I was like, okay, so how long did you mean? He said, 2 years. He said, I studied with one of the sheiks, he called it a sheik. He said, I studied with a sheik in Misr, in Egypt. I said, so you were studying in Egypt? He went, yeah. And I went, how's your Arabic? And he went, I know all that. He had no Arabic whatsoever. I said, okay, so if I say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, what are you going to say? Yeah. He said, what do you mean? I said, the Fatiha. Come on, man, you was Muslim 2 years, studying with the sheiks, praying 5 times a day, you told me. What comes after Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen? He didn't know. I was like, you never entered Islam fully. Allah says, establish the prayer. Give to poor from what you've been given. Those who believe in what? The unseen. Then they establish prayer.
I found a lot of these what claim to have been Muslim. Even the ones who were like born into Islam, if you like, and they became apostates. They didn't know anything about Islam.
Really?
You ask them for Fatiha, they don't know.
Yeah. Sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's no prerequisite to Shahada, but there's a prerequisite to Jannah. Yeah. And that's that you perform certain obligations if it's incumbent upon you. Some people it's not, as in, zakat isn't everybody. Some people are recipients, not givers. Some people can't fast, so they pay fidya instead. Some people can't perform Hajj, can't afford it. But Salah is a prerequisite to Jannah. And if you're one of the very few people who become Muslim, die immediately, and they had no obligation to Salah, then you could say that person. But it's such an obscure.
It's very rare.
Yeah, it's so rare, In the Sunnah, I think there's one example of a person who was like that, He didn't even play one rak'ah of Salah, and he entered into Jannah. But everybody else...
There's also... it's a weak narration, but there's one of a Roman entering Islam. It's called George.
Oh, Jaja. No, sorry, I know this.
But it's interesting. There are some circumstances, but like you say,
very rare.
You have to learn how to pray, the basics. These are all requirements, really.
And it's sad that they're 2 years in, not even learned Shahada. And I don't always blame the person.
It's a bit of both.
It's both,
bro. I found a lot of new Muslims are lazy, bro.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I mean, there is lack of support from the community. I get that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
We managed to find a book and read a book about it at least. It needs to be more effort on both sides, I think.
One brother said, he entirely blaming the community. So they should be doing more. I said, to be fair, no. Because I can convince you that strawberry milkshake is the very best milkshake. And you may be convinced by that and go ahead and go, strawberry's the best. But if you always buy banana, there's no point in you agreeing to that, right? You can convince someone Islam is the right way to live, But if that person then doesn't go ahead and start living according to that, it's their own choice. Yeah. So you can have someone say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, but then carries on going to church and never establishes Salah. It's pointless. Yeah. So I agree with you. I think a lot of it boils down to the person. However, there was one story, I think maybe you heard it actually, because it went around a while ago. There was a new Muslim brother, and I don't know who he's with. He's with the people of strictness, man. Because all they were telling me is everything was like not permissible, So they went to meet him one day and they went to his house. This was in London. And they went into the brother's house and he was playing a video game. And bearing in mind, the guy's new Muslim, like a week or two in the deen, And they're like, this is haram. They said the game you're playing is haram. He said, brothers, since I've become Muslim, you've said everything I'm doing is impermissible. I don't want Islam, and get out of my house. Threw him out. And he left Islam. I blame them for that. I blame those people, But for the most part, if you become Muslim and you say, you bearing a witness with the Lord, you need to, the brothers who take Shahada need to explain what they're doing. Like, bro, this is a big thing. It's not just, you're convinced, come on, join us. No.
Knowledge,
You're taking an oath with the one who created you, man. This is a serious matter. and you're going to be asked about this, you know, and then you have to honor that agreement, which is that you're now going to establish your prayer first. Then after that, the rest will come. But establish the salah. And after that, you know. But it's a shame because, like you said, many are lazy, man. Don't learn, don't try.
What advice would you give to the new Muslims out there?
Oh, honestly, I know it sounds silly because the new me, when I became new Muslim, I probably wouldn't have followed the advice I'm going to give now. But it's to learn how to read the Quran,
you know,
in Arabic.
I'm the same. When I first came to Islam, it wasn't a priority at all.
Never.
I was still a bit jahil, and you know how it is.
Yeah. It's embarrassing actually because at 5-6 years in, I still couldn't read, you know. Well, tell a lie, I could read, but it was broken. It was broken. And I was embarrassed by it, and it took ages to get to the level I'm at now. And it was really tough. And I don't blame anybody who don't do it, but as long as you learn the Fatiha, because it's much easier to learn to read the Quran. You know? Just to learn Fatiha and a couple of surah so you can lead your own prayer, and recite it correctly. But anybody out there who becomes a Muslim, try your very best to perfect your salah and read the Quran. That would be my advice, because now I've got it.
I think the good thing with that advice is, if they do take the advice and learn to read the Quran, it's automatic that you want to understand the Quran. You want to understand Arabic. You automatically, everything else is going to come. So I like that advice.
And it's simple because it's practical advice. It's not like...
And reading the Quran is easy, bro.
Yeah, it is.
You know, I mean, you know, to learn the alphabet, learn how to read, you know.
Just patience.
I remember I was lazy with it for many years. You know, I didn't see, you know, came to Islam. Even Muslims around me would tell me, you don't need to know Arabic. So that's not really going to motivate me to learn Arabic.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so... But alhamdulillah, once you understand, you have to really...
And it's exciting, man. Once you read... Because you pick up, like before, I'd pick it up and one page was 40 minutes. One page. It'd take me to read one page. So your motivation levels are low then, you know? Now I'm busting a page in like a minute or two, even less than that. And subhanAllah, I've got my own little tone now. And now I want to hear myself. So I sit in a corner, and I'll be sitting there reading, and I'll be like, oh, Allah, it sounds good, you know? But it takes time, brothers and sisters, and don't give up. Because at the end of the day, the only reason I'm learning the Quran is because I want to go to Jannah and I want to receive His reward. So there's always that end goal of doing it. You know.
Do you mind me asking you if you can recite something for us before we leave?
Okay.
Not for showing off, for motivating the brothers and sisters to know that, you know, new Muslim Cockney like yourself, they can do it.
I'm going to recite a surah I like to recite. I recite it often in my salah. It's a short one, but not too short. But it's, you know, a couple of lines. And it's called Surah Al-Bayyinah. So I'll recite that for you, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة رسول من الله يتلوه صحفا مطهرة فيها كتب قيمة وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين هنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة إلا الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أبدا أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إلا الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك هم شر البرية إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك هم خير البرية جزاءهم عند ربهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشي ربه. Sorry, I made a mistake there, but I went back and rectified it.
Jazakallah.
Yeah, Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair, bro.
Thank you very much for letting me come, man.
I love to see my own tribe members, if you like.
Oh, yes, salam.
Seriously, man.
Same.
SubhanAllah. To see, because I know, you know, you probably had a similar background to me. We know where we're from.
No.
And to think that Islam reached these places is amazing.
And it's nice to see someone who works in a dawah as well. Not many of us stand up, you know.
You know, I was in the gym with my friend the other day, another brother from my local area who accepts Islam. Probably the only white guy I know who accepts Islam in this area, which used to be a very racist white area.
Sahih.
And we're just in the gym, you know, the music's playing, and it's a really rough area, white racist types, and we're discussing Islam, talking about Bukhari, this, that. And I'm like, I said to him, SubhanAllah, bro, just imagine this, right? We're in the gym I'm not going to name the area.
Yeah.
Islam truly did reach everywhere, SubhanAllah. You know, two white boys from the white hood. Discussing Bukhari
and by the way, your lahya is looking sweet, man.
Alhamdulillah.
And you know, the Muslims, subhanallah, of the old, if they could see today, I'm sure they'd be happy. You know how far it's reached and the corners it made it to. You know, and like you said, to reach some of the most racist. I'm from a place. This is unacceptable. Wow, you know what I'm upon. When I entered Islam, I got a message, and you know that person, he wouldn't have said boo to a goose before Islam. Yeah. You know what that means? In Essex, boo to a goose means you wouldn't say nothing to him. Yeah? He wouldn't have said anything to me ever. You know, as soon as I became Muslim and the word spread that he's a Muslim now, you know, a few people got brave. I got a message. I'm going to put you know, a pig's head in your bed. One day you'll wake up with that. I thought, come on in, try it. You know. But where I grew up was like that. But yeah, Islam
people don't know where we come from.
Yeah.
Like even today, I mean, you know, I've just done a lecture. I was the first one to give a lecture. How many people are here today?
Oh, I think over 1,000.
Yeah,
1,100, 1,200.
Imagine I've just been staying at my parents' house for the week.
MashaAllah.
Do you know that I couldn't come out the house with a thobe?
Subhanallah.
SubhanAllah, I packed my thobe.
Yeah.
Said bye to my parents.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm putting my thobe on in the car just round the corner from here.
Standard, man.
They don't know, like...
I could never go home like this. Not to Essex. Not to Essex. No.
You know, and it's not easy, you know.
Because some people say, oh, but why would you not be brave about it? It's not being brave.
It's not about brave.
Why put yourself in that situation where...
Like, I mean, alhamdulillah, with my family, it's not danger at all. It's just, they'll be uncomfortable, you know, it's been hard. But for other families, it is actually dangerous for some of the people.
Definitely.
Like, and I really respect the sisters who wear hijab. And like,
Full
seriously,
hygiene.
you know, I've never told a woman to wear hijab. They have to wear hijab. This is Islam.
Yeah.
But how can I tell someone to wear hijab? Would I be able to wear hijab?
Good question.
You know, subhanAllah, like I can't even wear my thobe. You go to certain parts of Manchester, like where I'm talking about. I wear this down the street. You got to be ready to fight. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's all right, Pakistani walk down the street, fine. It's okay for you. Islam's good for you.
Yeah.
For the white guy, you're a traitor.
Yeah, you are a traitor.
You know, and I love it so much when I see brothers like yourself who, you know, we know where we're from, we know. And I love you for the sake of Allah.
Keep up the good work, Aki, by the way, man.
Yeah,
man,
you too, bro.
you,
and I love you for the sake of Allah.
Aidon. Also, you know, I love you for the sake of Allah. It's been a pleasure. Assalamu alaikum.
Well,
maybe I'll come back soon, man.
Inshallah. Maybe I'll come and see you in Medina, inshallah.
Oh, Mumtaz, bro. Inshallah. Come to well, I haven't got a yard, but come to Jamia. we're chill, man.
Yeah. When are you going back?
15th of January. Okay, we resume classes on the 18th. But Saudi time, it'll be the 28th, 10 more days. So I know I've got a good 2 weeks before I get back.
May Allah bless you in your studies and make it easy for you and your family.
Inshallah. And you the same, Akhi.
Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.